Hey everyone, Build It here. That's Build It. It's BILL hyphen D space IT, which I pronounce Build It, as in building something when you build it. Just to let you know, it could be, people may say Build It. Sometimes I even say Build It, but it should be Build It. It's a play on words, it's a pun. That's my whole name is actually a series of puns, in my opinion. I'm William Max Devine. And so William Bill is short for William. So when people ask how I am, I always say I'm divine, and it fits the bill to the max. That covers all three of my names. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go on to what we're actually here to do. We're going to do the uploading of the firmware into the printer. Now I had already shot these videos, but then there are so many problems with it. I don't want to bore everybody with all of that. I mean, seeing the problems of building the printer is one thing, but seeing the problems of loading software and getting the software to properly work, it's pretty tedious and it's pretty boring. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go through and show you exactly what works and nothing more. I'm not going to show you all the problems that we're running into. I'm not going to show you anything beyond that. So that's the way this works. We're going to go from there. And let's just get started here. So the documentation that they have for this is 100% wrong. Let's go grab the documentation. Oops. Yeah. Let's see, that was that. And go here. So right here it says use this. Use Arduino, go to downloads Arduino 1.55. That is wrong. Do not use 1.55. Here, let me move that over so you can actually see it, and I'll blow it up a little bit. So what you want to really use is whatever the latest version is. I believe it's 1.89. I believe that's the latest version of Arduino. So you want to load 1.89. The other thing you're going to want to do is download a driver, and the driver is called let's see, let me find it here and I'll show you what it is. Maybe back one level on this. This is the driver right here. It's ch341ser.exe. The reason this is not an official Arduino board. This is a Chinese clone. The Chinese clone does not work the same as an official Arduino board, and so you got to have this different driver for it to work. So you need that. So copy and load Arduino, then copy and load and run this exe file for the setting up the serial port. Otherwise, what will happen is you'll go into Arduino and you won't show up on the port. You'll have the right board listed, you'll have the other thing listed, but it won't show a port. You won't be able to go to the serial port that contains your board. And I went through this and fought with this for a few hours, and that's why I said I don't want to bore you with it. But I finally found where to find the correct driver for it. I got the driver. The other thing I had a problem with is I have in my tower computer here, I had a device that I plugged into the front of my computer to bring some of my USB ports out. Well, those USB ports wouldn't work and talk to the actual board. And so because it didn't talk to the actual board, it caused a little bit of a problem. I changed my camera angle a little bit because looks like I'm looking off to the side all the time. So that's where it is. Those are the two things you need to do first. Then you can actually go and really load their software, which is where is it at? Oh, where is their software? Right here. So you need to go to GitHub and download. Let's do that so you can see, because it's not always straightforward exactly how to do a GitHub. So right here, it has the file, and over on this, let me expand that out a little more. I'm going to hide my ugly mug here so that you can see the whole thing here. Okay, so go over here, expand that out a little more. Download or clone. Click here and click download the zip. That's all you need to do. You don't need to worry about clicking on the actual files and reading anything on it. Just download the zip. Then you'll extract the zip on your computer. And that's really what you got to do for that to work. Go back to the directions here. So, download it. Download the correct version of Arduino, which is, I believe, 1.89. I can actually look at it. It's Arduino IDE. And let's see, right in here. Not this. This is 1.55, which is the one they recommended. But here's Arduino IDE. If you click on that, it will actually open up Arduino. And you'll see it is right here 1.89. Okay? So that's really what you want to load up. That's the version you need to use, along with that driver that I already told you to grab. And then, once you've done those two things, you can unzip this file, and that will take you into, go here, right here I have my firmware. There's that thrown to the 341 serial exe, Cerambot master. We don't need this. I'm going to get rid of it. Don't need the 155. Yes. Won't let me do it. Okay. Anyway, got rid of it. Okay, got rid of it. I don't need that. Go into Cerambot master, keep clipping through, and you get to this directory called Marlin. You want to go to that directory, and then you want to find the Marlin, I believe it's INO, or ICO, I can't remember which one. INO, okay. So go here, and if it's not already lit up as being Marlin, I've already run this with Marlin IDE, so it shows it's associated with Arduino rather. I've already run it, so it's associated. But you could right-click it and say Run or Open with, and in my case Arduino IDE. You just open that up, just like that. That's all you have to do. The only thing left to do after that is connect up your printer. Let me do that so you can see. Let's see, I'm not sure which port I'm connected on now, or which camera at the moment. Okay, so this is the camera one. I don't want to unplug that one. I want to unplug my other one for the other camera. So that's the one that actually has the serial port that works for this. So what we're going to do, let me turn the camera on so you can see what I'm doing here. Oh, where am I? Problem with two screens sometimes is figuring out where your mouse is at. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to connect up the printer. So I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to drag it over here, and we're going to load up or connect this cable to the printer. So grab the camera here. So right here on the board, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's the board. I'm turning it at an angle here, sorry. Get this in here. We want to plug it in. We're going to plug into this port right here. If I can get that. Oh, that's the cable rotated. So plug that in. Yeah, and I don't know if you heard it, but the computer just enumerated showing that it has that hooked up. I have my wires just like I had to change motors because they didn't tell you that the motors were different. And I have the Pro extruder, which I made a note on the website. As you can see, mine's already up and it says Cerambot on there. I don't know if you can read that or not, but that's mine's already set up because I've loaded it. So that's connecting it up. And the only thing you have to do now is just go in and say, is do the up. Oh, got to go into Tools. Excuse me, sorry. got to go into Tools. And where am I? Okay, sorry. You don't load your software until after you've connected up your printer. Let's make sure I got this now, and we'll go in and do that again. Then we should be able to go to Tools. So right here, your board says it's a Arduino Genuino Mega or Mega 2560. Your processor is the Mega 2560. Your COM port is COM3. And that is all the correct information. If you actually look at the computer through the control panel and then look at your hardware, view devices and printers, you'll see right here serial, USB serial CH340 COM3. That's the printer. So we're all set to go now. And all you do is just click this arrow right here. This is upload. That will upload the firmware into your printer. And once it's done, it will display what you saw on my printer. And that's it. You're pretty much done as far as that goes. So I'm going to stop the video right here, and I'm going to edit back in and go to, I'm going to hook up my switches so you can see. There was a lot of problems that were run into after I got the software loaded, because they had this thing about swapping the wires, and the swapping of the wires didn't work once you actually run the software. You had to swap them back. And then I had other problems because the motors were, they supply, if you have the Pro extruder and the 3-in-1 kit, I bought the 3-in-1 kit, so I had the Pro extruder, the Air extruder, and all that. And so I had 5 motors that came, besides the big gigantic motor, I had 5 motors that came with it. And they didn't tell you, they said 42 for the motors. And well, there's 2 different 42 versions of motors. There's the HD 4027, which is this one right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I know I can kind of read it, but it's not in focus per se. So let's see. I'm always moving my mouse on the wrong screen. That one I really configure. Let's see if I can get this thing to focus a little better. Camera control focus. Come on. Oh, I have autofocus turned on, that's why. Get the focus a little sharper. There we go. So that's a little better. So this is the 4027. The other ones are 4037s. Or sorry, that was a 4037. No, 4027. Where's my other one? Anyway, 4037s are the ones that go in the actual printer. And so I have a 4037 still laying around somewhere else. And I just pulled my camera off and onto the floor. I'll pull the insert completely off the camera too. Okay. Sorry guys. Pulled my camera off onto the floor. So that's one of the motors. The other motor is the 4027, I think, or 4037. I had a 4037 laying around. Oh, on this one I have a 4037. So we have 4027s and 4037s right here. So that's the 2 different ones. The 403, you know, I had another one for some reason, so this still has a 40. This would be 4037s in the printer, and 4027s is what goes on the. It's supposed to be what goes on these extruder parts here. And the reason is, if you look at the size of the motor, the 4027 is actually smaller and the 4037 is actually smaller, and the 4027 is a little bigger. So I think that's because this is having to push clay. It requires a little bit stronger motor in order for it to work properly. So that's why there's a little bit of difference between those. And I need to change that one out to this 4027. God, did it again. Got cables wrapped all around the floor, and I keep tripping over them now and pulling everything down. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so that's why we're having that, why we have to do that. Go back over here and fix my focus again. And go back to autofocus. Okay, so if you have that, you'll see the difference, what I'm talking about. And we'll take care of that. What else? That's pretty much it. So the wiring, like I said, the wiring to the wires for the motors, actually, where it says to swap them, do not swap them. Your motors will not work, and you'll regret it and have to redo it again later anyway. Unfortunately, I didn't know that until I did mine and did all this and then had all the problems, and it was figuring out why things didn't work and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And then I found the motors were different, and that created a different issue. So that's where we're at. So now you just seen how to upload. That's it. There's nothing more to do on this. Like I said, it's uploaded. I can actually do it upload again. It's not gonna hurt anything. It's just gonna overwrite what's there. I haven't really done anything to it. In fact, so it's running now. As you can read here at the bottom of Arduino, it says compiling sketch right here at the bottom. And so it's in the process of doing that. SketchByte uses this. It's now uploading to the Arduino board. And then when it's done, it'll say, you know, upload complete or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it says. And then the display will switch, and it'll actually show the Cerambot on the display. And that's pretty much it as far as loading software goes. I have a nice little blurb at the end which says thank you for watching and subscribing, and I really do appreciate it. And I know you're tired of seeing this old bald fat man explaining how to assemble the printer and going through all the different issues that I've gone through. Hopefully they've helped you avoid some of those problems. And you know, I've also thrown some short little videos onto the Facebook page. So it says right here, done uploading. So that's all you do. That's it. If I go back over to the display on the printer, you should be able to see that it says you know, the Cerambot name again on there, and that means it's finished. So it's ready to go. If I hook up those switches on there so that I can there, and hook those switches back up again, then I can show you how the auto home on it. But I don't want to do that right now. You don't need to watch me hook up switches. I'll come back to that and I'll show you the auto home in a minute, rather than you guys watching me do all this. It's kind of boring, I know. So next up will be showing auto home. Alright, so we got the software all loaded. It's time to do a auto home. Let's see what auto home does now. I think I got everything working on it, so I think we're ready to go. I'm going to turn the other camera to point at the printer, maybe. We'll see how it behaves here. Turn on the other camera. How come my other camera's not on? Oh, I'm not plugged in, that's why. Where is the cable? Oh, I plugged it in. Oh, I did. It's not working. There. No? Huh. My other camera's not working for some reason. Light flashes on the camera and then it goes right back off. So I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see. Take this camera, put them back on the tripod here. Not sure what's going on, why that camera's not working now, but okay. Put it back on the tripod. We're going to aim it at our printer here. Hopefully we can see everything. Hopefully this works. Hopefully I'm not really playing around here with this thing. Okay, you can see everything here. I'm going to actually point it up a little more. You can see it go up toward the top. Cross our fingers and hope it all works. I haven't dressed up my wires yet because I've been making sure everything works. So we go into the menu, we hit prepare, and we go to auto home. And there goes everything going up. And there we go, that's auto home. So we're ready to go. And that's basically the whole setup of the printer. And now it's just going through and figuring out where the 0 is and playing with all that kind of stuff. So there is a move axis now. There is some other options available once you have your auto home working. So now you can go in, you can do level the bed, and then you can go to PLA, preheat PLA, like we're going to heat up PLA on here. Okay, so anyway, it has a separate move axis, so you can actually move the axes around. And that's pretty much all the stuff that it does on here. Then there's no SD card plugged in right now, so there's nothing that you can do there. There's control, which has temperature, motion, filament, store settings, load settings, restore failsafe, initialize EEPROM. There's all that kind of stuff. So we're pretty well done with the printer now. So that's it. That's auto home, and that's everything done on the printer. So I hope you enjoyed everything. It was nice of you all to subscribe and watch. I'll probably lose subscribers when this is all done, unless people are really into it and want to see my Alien 3D UFO boxes every month and my Profi box every month. And then I need to do some more work on other things, like work on my models and stuff like that too. And maybe people want to watch that, I don't know. If you have any idea of what you'd like to see, shoot me a message and let me know. You can find me, of course, on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter. So Bill Diet or at Bill Divine. I think it's Bill_Divine. I'm not sure on that. Let's see, where is it? Who am I on here? It's at Bill_Divine. Capital B, capital D. So DEVINE. So that's me, and that pretty well covers it. So Bill Divine on Twitter, and you can also just look for Build It as a search, because that's my username on Twitter. And that pretty well covers everything for this printer. Have a great one, and hopefully get some good feedback. I've gotten a few feedback things, but hopefully get some more. Have a great one. Bye.